Mathematics 101 by Hassan Malik, Grade 9/O Levels Part 1 Math 1. Numbers and operations. Count, read, and write numbers up to 999. Write numbers up to 100 in words and write ordinal numbers up to 20. Identify the place value of each digit in a 3-digit number. Add and subtract up to 3-digit numbers. Multiply numbers within multiplication tables of 2, 3, 4, 5, and 10. Divide numbers within a multiplication tables of 2, 3, 4, 5, and 10 with the remainder of 0. Recognize and represent unit fraction up to 1 by 12. Algebra, the study of unknown values. Analyze patterns and relationships with respect to size, number, color/shape, and other properties. Identify and apply measurable attributes of length, weight/mass, capacity/volume, and time. Geometry. Identify square, rectangle, triangle, circle, and oval. Information handling. Collect, organize, analyze, display, and interpret data/information. Reasoning and logical thinking. Sort, classify, and compare familiar shapes. Apply analytical reasoning to explain features of a shape. Numbers and operations. Read, write, compare, and identify place values of numbers up to 1 million. Add and subtract numbers of complexity and of arbitrary size. Multiply and divide up to 6-digit numbers by 2 and 3-digit numbers. Distinguish between even and odd, prime, and composite numbers. Read and write Roman numbers up to 20. Differentiate between factors and multiples. Calculate HCF of 3 2-digit numbers using prime factorization and division method. Use 4 basic operations on fractions. Convert percentage to fraction and to decimal and vice versa. Calculate unit rate, direct and inverse proportions. Add and subtract measures of distance, time, and temperature. Algebra. Explain and analyze patterns, identify missing numerals and elements in a pattern or sequence, and determine a rule for repeating it. Use symbolic notation to represent a statement of equality. Add, subtract, and convert standard units of length, weight/mass, capacity/volume, time, and temperature. Units of length. The standard units of length in the metric systems are millimeter, centimeter, meter, kilometer. Metric system conversions. 1 centimeter equals 10 millimeters, 1 meter equals 100 centimeters, 1 kilometer equals 1000 meters. Geometry. Draw, label, and classify lines, angles, and quadrilaterals and triangles based on their properties. Determine the perimeter and area of a square, rectangle, and triangle using formulas. Information handling. Compare data and interpret quantities represented on charts, tables, and different types of graphs, and make predictions based on the information. Types of charts. Some type of charts are histogram, bubble chart, area chart, bar chart, pie chart, and line chart. Some other type of charts are heat chart, box plot chart, scatter plot, radar chart, and Gantt chart. Reasoning and logical thinking. Communicate reasoning about patterns in geometric figures. Explain method and reasoning when solving problems involving numbers and data. Numbers and operations. Identify different types of set with notation. Sets are well-defined collection of distant elements or objects. Types of sets. Finite set, infinite set, empty set, also known as null set. Some more sets are singleton set, subset, superset, and power set. There is a universal set, the complement, the proper subset, and improper subset. There's a disjoint set, union of sets, and intersection of sets. There's equal sets, equivalent sets. There are union, intersection, difference, complement. The De Morgan's law. First law, complement of a union. Second law, complement of an intersection. Some other types of sets, the Venn diagram, like the component, circular shape, overlap, rings. Numbers and operations. Verify commutative, associative, and distributive property. Yeah, they're just examples. Verify commutative, associative, distributive property. The example for distributive. Numbers and operations. Verify commutative, associative, distributive, and De Morgan's law. Union and intersection of sets and illustrate them through Venn diagram. Verify commutatives through Venn diagram. The union and intersection. Verify associatives through Venn diagrams as like union and intersection. And verify distributives through Venn diagrams, again union and union over intersection, and then intersection over union. Verify De Morgan's law through Venn diagram. Numbers and operations. Identify and compare integers, rational and irrational numbers. Apply basic operations on integers and rational numbers and verify commutative, associative, and distributive properties. Arrange absolute values of integers in ascending and descending order. Find HCF and LCM of two or more numbers using division and prime factorization. Convert numbers from decimal system to numbers with a base 2, 5, and 8, and vice versa. Add, subtract, and multiply numbers with a base of 2, 5, and 8. Apply the laws of exponents to evaluate expressions. Find square and square root, cube and cube root of a real number. Solve problems on ratio, proportion, profit, loss, markup, leasing, zakat, taxes, insurance, and money exchange. Algebra, identify algebraic expressions and basic algebraic formulas. Apply 4 basic operations on polynomials. Manipulate algebraic expressions using formulas. Formulate linear equations in 1 and 2 variables. Solve simultaneous linear equations using different techniques. Geometry. Draw and subdivide a line segment and an angle. Construct triangle, parallelogram, and segments of a circle. Apply properties of lines, angles, and triangles to develop arguments about their geometric relationship. Apply appropriate formulas to calculate perimeter and area of a quadrilateral, triangular, and circular regions. Determine surface area and volume of cube, cuboid, sphere, cylinder, and cone. Find trigonometric ratios of acute angles and use them to solve right-angled triangles. Information handling. Read, display, and interpret bar and pie graphs. Collect and organize data. Construct frequency tables and histograms to display data. Find measure of central tendency, mean, median, and mode. Reasoning and logical thinking. Find different ways of approaching a problem to develop logical thinking and explain the reasoning. Solve problems using mathematical relationship and present results in an organized way. Construct and communicate convincing arguments for geometric situations.